horsepower. We've been doing some work on Sally, as you can see. We have the turbos mocked up in place. They're not attached or hung or anything like that, but we do that so we can plumb the hot side in. But unfortunately, we're out of parts. We do have some on order. Hopefully they come in soon. We'll resume back on Sally. In the meantime, I'd like to introduce you to our dyno. We have Lucy here that we have to get ready to go on a drag and drive. So we wanted to show you the dyno, show you her getting on the dyno. There are a couple different dynos. You've got inertia and you've got loaded. And I'll let Jason explain more of the difference of those.
Our dyno you see here, this is a loaded dyno. The other kind that he explained is a inertia. Inertia looks similar to this, as there would be drums sticking up out of the ground, except for they would just be a heavy weighted drum. The computer would know how fast you accelerate the drum, or it could then determine how much horsepower it's got by the acceleration rate of the drum. That's a good system if all you want to know is how much power it's got at wide open throttle. It works real good. But the next problem you have with that setup is if you wanted to hold it at a certain RPM, you can't. It only will read while it's accelerating. This dyno is what you would call a loaded dyno, and that it is just like what it sounds. This dyno will put a load on these drums. The reason why you'd want to do that is you could simulate going up a hill. You could hold it at a certain mile per hour, which will translate to a certain RPM of the motor. Say if you only want to allow it to go to 30 miles an hour, this dyno would keep the motor at 30 miles an hour, which would keep it at a certain RPM. And you could vary the load with your throttle, which is exactly what you'd need to do when you're tuning a car. Or if a car had a certain problem at a certain mile per hour or at a certain load, you can simulate it with this dyno. This dyno also is an all-wheel drive dyno, meaning that if you have a car that is all-wheel drive, you have to have a dyno that actually has 4 drums. We have seen all-wheel drive cars, front-wheel drive cars, rear-wheel drive cars. This dyno can do it all. The next kind of dyno is a hub dyno, which can do all the things this one can, but it bolts directly to the hubs of the car. The reason why you'd want to do that is on a dyno such as this one, the high horsepower cars, 2,000–3,000 horsepower, have a tendency to try to spin on this one. On a hub dyno, you bolt the dyno directly to the car, and there's no way for it to spin. The next kind of dyno would be an engine dyno. Engine dynos, you would take the engine and bolt it directly to the dyno. If you're an engine builder and you're building engines and you need to tune the motor, that's good, but you only get to tune the motor. Meaning when you put it in a car, you get to tune the car. The same fuel system, the same cooling system, the same rear end, the same transmission, everything that it takes to put power to the tires or to the ground, which is what we all want to know anyway. That's why you'd want a chassis dyno. You also got to keep your cars cool when you're dynoing. We got great big fans. You got that big fan there. We got our little guy over here that can keep any auxiliary radiators cool. We've been ignoring Lucy lately. We've been trying to get Sally going, but now we're going to turn our attention over here to Lucy. We've put bigger injectors and a bigger fuel pump. We're going to switch her over to methanol, try to find some more power, and we'll get to bring you along with that. We'll show you how the dyno works, how we hold it at certain RPM so we can hold it on certain parts of the map and make sure that the drivability on this thing's good, and then we'll do some wide open throttle pulls, see if we can find us some more horsepower. We'll bring you along. We got Lucy all tied down. We've made a couple runs, so we know that the straps are true and everything's good. We wanted to introduce you to Lucy if you just now found this channel. This car is Lucy. She has been on Drag Week 3 times. The first time she came in second in her class. The second time she won her class. And the third time, which was last year, we had a monumental failure and we didn't finish. We got it all back together, and what Lucy is, she is a LS7 with a solid lift cam, headers, you know, and intake. I mean, it's nothing real special, but it's, you know, the best we could do. She runs on E85. It's got flex fuel, can run on gasoline also. Sometimes you can't find E85 out on the road, so you have to put gasoline in it. But we're going to switch to methanol, and we'll make a pass. We'll show you what it's got on E85. We'll drain out the methanol, or the E85, and then we will add methanol. You'll get to see how the dyno works. We'll get to see if we pick up any power.
What we're doing now is draining the E85 out of it.
Lucy's gonna turn into an alcoholic.
Yeah, we was hoping it would never come to this, but
it would, but it's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
She's going from the weak stuff to the strong stuff.
Kind of got a pretty neat setup here. Really easy to pump the fuel out.
Stick the fuel on the bottom side of the regulator and stick this on the relay. Turn on the pump, let it pump it out.
That's right.
So there you have it. All you have to do is put a little methanol,
Just turn your car into an alcoholic, in other words.
if it drinks alcohol, it actually performs better, which is opposite from people.
Yeah, strange.
Well, we ended up picking up right at 25 horsepower.
Yeah.
So just switching fuels, you pick up 25 horsepower. I mean, there's a lot of things you do to try to pick up 25 horsepower. That's got to be one of the easiest.
One of the easiest.
But you do need bigger injectors, a bigger fuel pump, just a big fuel system to be able to make that work, and use your keyboard a little bit to get your tune right. And there you have it, proof. So we'll be draining fuel out and switching fuels when we get to the track.
Every time.
And I don't know, we'll pick up a little bit. Every little bit counts.
Every little bit counts.
Definitely when you're running with the competition that it'll be in.
Yep.
So it's a good episode. You got to see how the dyno works.
Got to learn more about Lucy.
Yeah, we'll probably bring you more on how to tune a car someday. But right now, we're so busy doing everything else. We'll bring you some more Sally videos. We're moving along pretty quickly on it. We got a radiator. We got enough to do the hot side, so we'll be bringing more of those videos to you.
Get back on that pretty soon.
But Lucy's gonna get a little bit more love. It needs to get some dust off of her.
Oh, she's dirty.
She's dirty. Maybe do some street driving. Make sure everything's still good with that.
Yep.
And I think that should be
I
doing
think
it.
that's about it. We appreciate your support on the videos. Remember to like, subscribe. It's free, by the way. So
Yeah,
subscribe.
please just subscribe.
Ring the bell. Comment
And
on some
comment.
videos. We'll see you on the next one.